Hello everyone, this is Solomonic Demons. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully everyone is doing okay. And well, today we're gonna be talking about the induction of Ozzy Osbourne to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that happened last week, October 19 of 2024. The commemoration featured a lineup of major artists performing Ozzy music to celebrate his legacy. It was actually a great performance that brought tears to my eyes. Jack Black and all the artists that were there for Ozzy. But at the same time, after I finished watching the show, a lot of thinking, a lot of brainstorming came to my mind about the future of metal. And that is a topic that I have wanted to touch in the channel for a while. Also, we're gonna be changing the strings on my Gibson SG Raven. I'm gonna be putting some Ernie Ball 10.552 strings. These guitar gonna be tuned on C sharp standard. Actually, that's the same tuning that it has right now, but I really have to restring this guitar. It has been with same strings for more than a year. It is time to take care about this guitar because it's actually a really good guitar. But well, going back to the main topic of this video, I've been a fan of Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath since I started playing guitar. One of the first bands that I hear was Black Sabbath with Ozzy. Was the time when I told myself, I really want to play guitar. I really want to be on a metal band. It did that kind of impact on my life. I saw Ozzy Osbourne live a couple of times. It was a great experience and actually a dream that come true for me. And last week when I saw Ozzy getting introduced to the Hall of Fame, it was very emotional, but at the same time it was very sad to see the condition of Ozzy it is right now. In the show, Ozzy didn't perform. Obviously, he's not in a medical condition to do it. We saw great performances from Billy Idol, Zakk Wylde, Robert Trujillo, and they paid tribute to Ozzy. Robert was in band, obviously Zakk Wylde too. Jack Black was the host of the show, and Ozzy talked for a little. Now, Ozzy Osbourne is 75 years old. I don't think that he should be playing anymore, in my opinion. I don't think that at this time, I think that he should enjoy his family and the rest of the life that he had. For me, Ozzy is the metal god, and at some point, anyone, no matter what style do you prefer on metal, if you like black metal, death metal, heavy metal, modern metal, I think that everyone have listened Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath at some point. That's how big Ozzy it is for me. And this is very sad, honestly, but at the same time, it makes me think about the future of metal. And because something that catch my attention in the induction of Ozzy Osbourne to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, it is that I didn't saw young metal musicians playing part of the tribute. Now, like I said, we saw great artists, great famous artists, and like Billy Idol, Zakk Wylde, Robert Trujillo, and Chad Smith. But the only young players that we saw was Wolfgang Van Halen, Andrew Watt, and Post Malone. With Post Malone as the youngest artist that was performing in the show, right? But this is the thing, even if Austin Richard Post Malone, I think that Austin it is a great artist. I do not follow hip-hop, but I know that he's a guitar player. I have seen him playing, and also he really can sing. He's a good singer. He do not only sing R&B or trap. He's a multi-perform musician. He's a great musician, but he is not a metal player. The only metal artists that we saw in the performances were obviously Maynard James Cannon from Tool, Zakk Wylde, and Robert Trujillo. I mean, Steve Stevens and Billy Idol do not count as metal players, right? I'm just focusing on the metal players. Now, something common that these musicians have is that all of them are in their 50s and in their 60s, right? And like I said, there was no young metal players paying tribute to the metal god. And this is because there is no mainstream metal anymore. all the new bands that are coming out are bands that most of the time stay underground, and even if they get the opportunity to tour, sign with a label, most of the times in a couple of years they just vanish and everybody forget about them and do not stamp a legacy on metal community. There is no more metal bands that fulfill stadiums, that fulfill arenas. The only ones that still do that are the remaining bands that we have from the 80s, from the 90s, and a couple of the early 2000 bands that still are able to play on the Madison Square Garden, with the exception of Ghost and Baby Metal. And a lot of people gonna say that Ghost and Baby Metal cannot even call metal. Obviously, you guys gonna try to trash me in this video and tell me, hey, haven't you seen the videos of the festivals that are done every year, of Walking, of the Hellfest and whatever? Yeah, but these are festivals, and that's why these have thousands of people attending to these shows. And if you guys see the flyer of the Hellfest of 2023, the main bands were Kiss, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden, Slipknot, Pantera. These bands are 80s bands, 90s bands, uh, and even most of the opening acts that this festival had were big bands from the 90s and the 80s too. There is just a few bands that are included to these festivals, and from those bands just a few have a crowd that really follow them, and barely these bands can make a living from music. In 10 years, James Hetfield from Metallica and Nicky Six from Motley Crue gonna be in the same shoes where Ozzy is right now. Just to give an example, guys, I'm not saying that. Same thing for those festivals like Woken, like Hellfest, all those bands that fill the spots, all those bands that were a little bit big in the 90s, in the 80s, that collaborate together to make these festivals big, they might just be gone. We might not have more bands to put in these festivals, and I think that these festivals also gonna shrink. I mean, the walk-in tickets until this date, as soon as the tickets come out, the tickets got sold out in a couple of hours, in a couple of minutes, right? But this is because they still put great rosters of bands, and sometimes they even put legendary bands as headliners. But so for me, future festivals gonna shrink definitely. Do not gonna be too much different of an underground metal fest like the Maryland Death Fest, for example. I was lucky to be in a couple of Maryland Death Fest shows, and these places get really crowded. But also the main acts of these festivals are bands that were big on the 90s, big on the 80s, from death metal, from thrash metal, right? I'm not saying that metal is dead, but in the future it's gonna be even less mainstream. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe the next biggest band of metal right now is on the studio recording the next biggest album that we're gonna listen of any of the subgenres that metal offers. Maybe they are on a rehearsal room right now, maybe they are on a garage. But honestly, after watching the induction of Ozzy Osbourne in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I really wanted to share this with you guys because it was something that it was bugging me in my mind. So yeah, I'm gonna be finishing setting up this guitar. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share, like, and subscribe. Take care and bye.